Hey, guys, gals, and pals, Mr. Obvious here. And today, we're going to talk about something very, very important, especially in the wake of the Charlie Kirk memorial and people's reactions to it. I'm going to say something that may sound a bit controversial. I do not forgive the shooter for killing Charlie Kirk. You know, lately, there's been a lot of talk about forgiveness, and I've been thinking about this a lot, especially with the reactions that people have had to Charlie Kirk's memorial. You had people like Destiny, aka Stephen Bunnell, saying that it was some sort of Nazi rally.
Why are you the way that you are? I hate so much about the things that you choose to be.
The secret to picking ripe blackberries is to look for blackberries that have very large bulbs. Here you can see, if I can get the camera to focus. It might be hard to tell because of the camera, but blackberries with fat bulbs, those are the ripest. As you can see, it's also kind of messy. Ironically, that one wasn't that ripe. Now, you may be wondering, why not forgive? There's a powerful moment on TV where Erica Kirk is basically saying she forgives the shooter, she forgives the killer for taking away her husband, Charlie Kirk.
On the cross, our Savior said, "Father, forgive them, for they not know what they do." That young man, I forgive him.
I absolve you of your sins. You have been forgiven.
And my position is that I cannot forgive and I cannot forget.
Those who carried out this attack, as well as anyone who wishes America harm, know this: we will not forgive. We will not forget. We will hunt you down and make you pay.
Because I saw them put a bullet through his neck. I saw him perish. I saw the life drain from his body. And I think a lot of people haven't seen it. Then there's the whole subject of his memorial itself. You had people like Destiny, aka Steve Bunnell, saying that the memorial was some sort of Nazi rally. And they use that term. And this kind of rhetoric and this kind of language is exactly why somebody felt radicalized enough to go and murder Charlie Kirk in the first place. And it's so clear to me at this point, that the left, not only are they not sorry, they'll do it again. And that's basically where I'm at. What people need to understand is that the left isn't going to stop. And they're not sorry. They're not sorry about any of this.
As far as I'm concerned, this Saturday night, there's not even gonna be a fight.
I will torture his body so that his soul learns to be humble.
I'm gonna knock him out round one, bitch.
God chose me for this fight. God's lessons are so beautiful.
God's lessons are beautiful. I'm sorry, who put this fight together?
So, I've been watching a lot of the reactions to the Charlie Kirk memorial on X, formerly known as Twitter, and it basically boils down to one thing. Leftists, and I'm talking about the left, liberals, Democrats, those types of voters, not only do they not care at all about Charlie Kirk's death, they are making excuses and justifying it, trying to claim that he was some sort of hateful, bad person. And none of this is true. And that's the problem, folks. The reason I do not forgive the shooter and the reason I do not forgive the left is because they're not sorry.
You're the devil.
When you have people like Destiny calling and comparing a memorial to a, far-right Nazi rally, that is the kind of lie that led the shooter to murder Charlie Kirk, the symbol of peace and unity, the one guy who was in the middle talking to both sides and trying to get people to come to an understanding. That was the whole purpose of Change My Mind.
I go around universities and have challenging conversations, and because that's what is so important to our country, is to find our disagreements respectfully, because when people stop talking, that's when violence happens.
I've never seen someone do this.
Well, it's a growing trend because people like me are facing violence, assaults, the left. Yes, the campus Antifa. I've been stormed out of restaurants. I've been assaulted publicly, multiple death threats, so that we put on the internet so people can see these ideas collide. When people stop talking, that's when you get violence. That's when civil war happens.
And it's so clear to me that the left has learned absolutely nothing.
It's on me.
Patrick, that's my money.
Have you learned nothing about sharing?
Even now, if you go on X, formerly known as Twitter, you will still see leftists spreading lies about Charlie Kirk, spreading lies about MAGA, spreading lies about Republicans, basically just spreading lies. That's all they seem to do. And everything they say about Charlie Kirk is not true. It's just provably not true. I saw this video by a black male conservative who said, I'm going to debunk every single lie about Charlie Kirk.
Just listening to understand why so many people loved Charlie Kirk. They say he's racist, but why are so many black people upset that Charlie Kirk has passed? They say he's homophobic, but why are so many gay people upset that Charlie Kirk passed? They say he's misogynistic. Well, why are so many women sad that Charlie Kirk has passed? They say he's transphobic. Why are there even trans people sad that Charlie Kirk has passed? They say he's a white nationalist. Well, why are so many black, Hispanics, Asians, the list goes on, anyone that's not white, very upset that Charlie Kirk has passed? Just stop for 1 second, just 1 second. Stop listening to mainstream media. Stop listening to your friend groups. Stop listening to your echo chambers. Just stop being told how to think.
It's a really good video, worth a watch. You can find it on X. And I remember a tweet as well, where a black male, who I believe isn't on either side, like I don't think he's really a political guy. He put out a tweet and he said, I went through 50 hours of Charlie Kirk footage. And you know what he found? Nothing. Not a single word against race at all. In fact, there's footage of Charlie Kirk kicking out a white supremacist from his public talking event.
Identity of Europa is a widely recognized white supremacist neo-Nazi organization by rational, common sense individuals. What does it mean to be an American? Is it an idea or a history, a shared history, or is it a skin color? What does the phrase e pluribus unum mean? Out of many, one. You, sir, and your ideology is not conservative. It is right-wing, identitarian, and has no place in the conservative movement, my friend. Get out of line! Get out of line!
I do not know how you call yourself a sane person and then say that Charlie Kirk was some sort of hate monger.
How? How could you post this? I thought you were based. It turns out that you were cringe.
So we saw a lot of tweets from leftists saying things like, oh, this is fascism, this memorial, why does it have sprinklers? Why is it a big event? Blah, 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 blah. Very simple. Very simple. The memorial for Charlie Kirk was also a celebration of his life, a celebration of the revival of the American spirit, and for many people, religious spirit and spiritual spirit. I quite literally saw someone on X saying that Charlie Kirk was spreading far-right nationalist values of a white variety. Just absolutely insane stuff. And he said he's spreading far-right values like family, being a man, and having children. I want you to think about that, folks. These leftists, these liberal types, these Democrat voters, they actually believe that family, children, a wife, and being a man, they think those things are far-right values. I need you to understand how insane that is. So, back to the memorial. Why did it have sparklers? Why was it a celebration? As I said, the left is a death cult. They do not understand the sanctity of life, and they do not understand the concept of celebrating life. That's why they were so mad. That's why they were demeaning and protesting Charlie Kirk's memorial. And think about the kind of person that does something like that. That's demonic. That's evil. Dare I say, that's something a demon would do.
Never defeat the human spirit!
And this is kind of where we get to the subject of forgiveness. And here's the thing, I'm not a religious person. I don't follow any religion. I guess you could say that I'm agnostic. You know, I saw one tweet that was saying stuff like, oh my God, I can't believe that Charlie Kirk had such a massive rally. MLK, and you know, he said all these other people. They were true martyrs and true heroes, not this Charlie Kirk guy. First of all, and I saw somebody reply, they said, you know, the stadium only held 65,000 people. And I'm just sitting there like, do you realize that the Charlie Kirk Memorial had like 100 million people around the world streaming it or tuning in? When you add up all the numbers, you actually get 100 million views. 100 million views! To sit there and say that Charlie Kirk is not a martyr is the most ignorant, disgusting, foolish thing you could possibly do. Because what is a martyr? A martyr is somebody who is killed for their religious or other beliefs, for their words. And that's what he is, my friends. He is a martyr. So let me explain why I don't forgive the left and why I don't forgive the shooter. It basically boils down to a few things. One, they're not sorry. They're justifying it on X, formerly known as Twitter, and they still think and they are still spreading lies about Charlie Kirk's beliefs, and they will do it again. Mark my words, they will do it again. All of this talk about forgiveness, in their minds, is basically giving them permission to take out more people. The Bible doesn't just blindly say, you know, forgive your enemies. Like, just forgive everybody. Let them hit you, let them strike you, turn the other cheek. Just roll over. The Bible also says stuff like, you will try to save the sinners, but if you can't save them, evil still has to be struck down. And this is the part everybody ignores. You see, there comes a point where a person is so ideologically captured, is so malicious, so demonic in their behavior, in their souls. They're walking the path of demons. They're walking the path of darkness. Sodom and Gomorrah. There was once a time, even in the Bible, where people had become so bad and so corrupted and so degenerate that God himself said, no more. We're going to wipe the slate clean. And he reduced Sodom and Gomorrah to ashes. I cannot forgive what cannot be forgiven, which is taking the life of an innocent. And make no mistake, folks, Charlie Kirk was innocent because he's not guilty of the things he say he is. And that's what bothers me the most. They didn't kill him for things he said. They killed him for things they said that he said. There's a famous quote. I actually don't know who said it first, but they don't kill you because you're a Nazi. They call you a Nazi so they can kill you. Behold, the Triusi. Oh my God. What's wrong with me? Is there something in there? What is that? Trash? There's something in there. Oh, that's just wood. Yeah, that's wood. I'm blind. I'm blind. I'm like, who would have thunk it, folks? I'm looking at wood. That'd be a nice home for a little mouse or something. We're headed towards dark times, my friends. And I've said this before, but I think we're in a civil war. And I don't think people truly understand that yet. You know, you have Tim Pool coming out, and he's still talking about a culture war. I think we're past that. This is no longer a culture war. It is more akin to a civil war. And there seems to be this sense of complacency on the right. There is this sense of complacency of just forgive your enemies because it's what Jesus would do. Jesus didn't just forgive people. He didn't just go around saying, oh, you're a gambler, you can do whatever you want. No, he flipped the tables. He drove out the evildoers. And he called it out. He called it out. Now, maybe you don't want to hear me talk about Jesus or Christ or anything like that. I don't know. But I think a lot of people ignore other parts in the Bible. The calls to righteousness, the calls to justice, the calls for punishment. The left is not sorry. They're not even sorry a little bit. And the more you talk with these people, the more that you look at their posts and their actions and their words, the more you realize that they don't want peace, they don't want understanding, they don't even care about forgiveness. They just want their enemies gone. That's the nice way of saying it. Because really, they want us. And that's the funniest thing to me. So many people on the left actually believe that because Charlie's gone, his reach and his influence will suddenly end. And I say that is so utterly misguided.
If you strike me down, I shall become more powerful than you can possibly imagine.
His beliefs are not gone. If anything, they're going to become stronger than ever. You guys probably can't tell, but this is a pretty steep incline. Going down, down, down the hill. I think the era of forgiveness, the era of turning the other cheek, I think that time is over. Because I don't forgive them. Not even a little bit. Some people choose the path of forgiveness. I chose a different path. The path of the Doomslayer. And what do I mean by that? Well, and keep in mind, I don't think the Bible ever said that demons could be forgiven. When you are surrounded by demons, your job is to strike down evil. I mean, think about it, folks. For 17 years, people on the right and conservatives have been canceled, have been persecuted, have lost their jobs, have been smeared, lied about, and degraded. Charlie Kirk did use one word that I really liked: persecution. And that's what it is. Whether you're a Christian or a conservative or even a moderate or even a classical liberal. For 17 years now, the left have canceled, have destroyed, and have ruined lives. And now they're killing people. And it's not going to stop. It's only going to get worse. It's only going to accelerate. Think about this. The left gets canceled for 1 week. One measly little week. People lose monetization, or they get a temporary ban, or, they get fired from their job. Oh no, Jimmy Kimmel, the show that nobody even watched, got canceled for spreading a hoax and lying and saying that the shooter was MAGA, when we know for almost a fact at this point that the shooter was a left-wing activist. They were into the whole trans ideology, the whole alphabet soup community. And you know what the shooter said? He said, "The reason I killed Charlie is because he was spreading hate." And to that I ask, what hate? What hate? So, the left is going around on X, formerly known as Twitter, spreading around all of these out-of-context clips. None of them ever showing the full context or the full point. Or they do show it and they just don't get it. So I'll give you an example. There is a clip going around right now of Charlie Kirk saying that he doesn't want DEI hires to be the pilot on the plane if the only reason that she was picked is because she's a minority. Never mind that white people are a global minority, but I won't even get into that conversation. DEI hires are a really bad idea because we don't want unqualified people flying planes. I mean, hell, think about it. In this day and age, we have Boeing planes that crash to the ground for no reason. I mean, the real reason is Boeing as a company is cutting a lot of corners. They're no longer building quality planes. When you step on a plane, especially if it's made by Boeing, there's a chance that you're not coming back. That the next time you land, it's not going to be, like a gentle landing. No, it's going to be like, yeah, so that's what he was saying in that clip. You don't want to hire unqualified people for jobs just because they have a certain skin tone. In fact, isn't that the definition of discrimination? If you hire somebody just because they look a certain way, and if you won't hire another person because they look another way, that is discrimination. And I agree very much with what Trump said when he said, you know, it's great that she's offering this forgiveness, but I can't. I hate my opponents. I want them to suffer.
Charlie Kirk truly was. He was a missionary with a noble spirit and a great, great purpose. He did not hate his opponents. He wanted the best for them. That's where I disagreed with Charlie. I hate my opponent, and I don't want the best for them. I'm sorry. I am sorry, Erica. But now Erica can talk to me and the whole group, and maybe they can convince me that that's not right, but I can't stand my opponent.
And I pretty much feel the same way, with a few caveats. You know, I warned people for years. I warned them for years and years, and nobody listened. The left hates you, and they want you. It's not a joke. It's not hyperbole. It's not an exaggeration. It's just the truth. And fundamentally, this is what we're talking about these days. The truth. This is what they fear the most. So why is it that people like Stephen Bonnell, Destiny, why are they going around and calling a memorial a Nazi rally? Oh, the Fourth Reich. Why? Well, number one, they hate you. Number two, they think Charlie Kirk deserved it. Number three, they will kill again. And number four, and this is the important part, the truth is, what they really mean when they say, it's a Nazi rally. What they really mean is they are terrified of the right. They are terrified of Christians. They are terrified of conservatives gaining momentum. They are terrified that they are losing the battle politically and culturally, and maybe even literally, if they so choose to escalate, which they will. They're just mad because so many people care about Charlie Kirk's life and about his death. And that's the point of a memorial. And fundamentally, that's what we're talking about today. I will not roll over, and I will not forgive. Forgiveness is for those who are repentant, and what it comes down to is they're still trying to justify murder. Really think about that. They're doing that to give a green light to the left that this sort of thing is okay. It's fine. The enemy's stupid. They're just going to roll over. They'll just turn the other cheek. And I think that's the real reason so many people on the left are freaking out about getting canceled or getting fired from their jobs. They are so used to having zero consequences that the moment that there are consequences, they absolutely lose their minds. Oh no, we're being canceled. Oh no, what's happening to us now? Don't you believe in free speech? Don't you believe what happened to your principles? That's not very Christian of you. But you have to remember something. These people don't have principles, any empathy or ideals. These people want you to forgive them, but they'll never forgive you. They'll never see eye to eye with you. They'll never make peace with you. They will never break bread. And what that fundamentally means is they're not going to stop. And that's what I need to get people to understand, especially people like Tim Pool. This isn't some culture war anymore. You're in a civil war. It's happening. It's happening right now. Boy, I'm thirsty. I wonder if I can go walk over here and get water. I'm going to tell you guys the truth right now. And it's a truth a lot of people don't want to hear. Some people are too far gone. Some people are so corrupted, like in Sodom and Gomorrah, that they cannot come back to reality. They are gone. They are off the preservation. They will speak nothing but lies, and lie, and lie, and lie. Why? Because they don't care. They don't care about the truth. They just want to justify in their minds that it is okay that somebody who was moderate got murdered. They don't know what he believed. They don't know what he said. They don't actually know anything. Oh man, tell me that there's water. Copper and contaminants, my favorite flavor. You know, they don't want you to know this, folks, but this is the real Mountain Dew, straight from the catacombs. Half of these things don't even work. So a lot of talk about forgiveness lately, And I understand that there's a whole moral lesson about, you know, just because you forgive your enemies doesn't mean they don't face justice, yada yada. I'm not here to talk about forgiveness. I'm here to talk about justice. I'm here to talk about what is right. I am here to talk about what I consider to be a righteous, just, dare I forbid it, holy cause. You know, Socrates once said that the only moral good, the only true good in the world was knowledge. He also said the only true evil is ignorance. And as funny as that meme is, I've found in my life, people who follow truth, they tend to be good people. And they tend to have goodness in their hearts. And let me tell you, the worst people I have ever met were those who chose to be ignorant. You know, I want to say that I know exactly what to do and exactly what the solution is. But the truth is, I'm not entirely sure. Because the way I see it, none of this is going to stop. It's only going to escalate. I don't know if you could see it well, but I found this feather. It was kind of dried out. I think all the bugs are dead or gone, and this feather remains. I don't think a lot of people truly understand what Charlie Kirk's death actually means. And I said this before, but when you kill the moderate guy in the middle, you've opened the floodgates. They have no idea what they've unleashed. Here's the long and end of it. Let's sum this up. I do not forgive the shooter, and I do not forgive the left, because they're not sorry. They are still lying, and they still refuse to acknowledge or take any accountability for what they've done. In fact, they are glad it happened, and they will be glad to make it happen again. And I choose not to forgive them. I choose the truth. I choose righteousness. I will vanquish the dark with the power of light. I will become the sword. And if they consume me, I will light my soul on fire. I will burn with the light of righteousness.
I am the bone of my soul. Unlimited. Blade works!
So, at the end of the day, you're free to forgive. Just do not forget. And don't expect this to end. The truth is, it's just barely getting started. But that, my friends, is merely the obvious. Hope you guys enjoyed our little walk and talk number 2. I would love to do more of these. I was a little scattershot today. Mind is not very clear. So hopefully I'm able to edit this together in a way that's coherent and makes sense. But let me know what you think down below in the comment section. Let me know how you feel about all this. Because at the end of the day, no matter what anybody says, I just can't forgive them. This has been Mr. Obvious, signing out.